Hello, my name is Veronica, and I've been involved in a relationship now for 7 years. And he's a great guy. I love him a lot. But as of the last 7 months, I've been thinking about my ex-man. And I don't know why. It didn't end terrible, but didn't end great either. And I can't stop thinking about him. In fact, it came along in a dream. I would dream for like a couple weeks on and off about him. And then all of a sudden, now I'm thinking about him and wondering if my dreams mean something. And I don't even have any idea why this happened in my head. But I'm missing him now. And I'm wondering, as just a friend, is it wrong to make contact with him just to say hello? Because I shouldn't be opening up that can of worms, so to speak. But this is giving me anxiety in an exciting way at the same time. But I just was wondering if it's all right to say hello even. And so that's why I'm here, to find out why did it be happening to me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Greg Stewart Show. You just heard the introduction of one of my clients, Veronica. You heard basically her first call to me in reference to what should I do. And before we get into Veronica's story, I want to welcome first-time subscribers or subscribers in general, new listeners, hoping that you do turn and become a subscriber. And we're going to get into that. But before we do, once again, please subscribe. Please like, share, and comment there. Your comments go a long way because they help people to hear your thoughts if you're going through something very similar to some of our stories. So without further ado, let's talk about Veronica. Tonight's story isn't about the things that scare us in our dreams. These are the dreams that we actually enjoy, that we like. And in Veronica's case, this dream is far more common than people think, and it's very dangerous. Dangerous in reference to how our past still play a part in our life. So the past doesn't always stay buried. The past does show up in dreams when you're focused on them. And in your thoughts and your quiet moments when you think you're safe, you start thinking of these things that do go bump in the night that you know are not healthy for you. And then they become part of your subconscious, and your subconscious shows them again to you in your dream. And this is the story of Veronica. Veronica is a woman who's been in a committed relationship for 7 years, but suddenly finds herself dreaming about her ex-boyfriend in ways that she can't ignore. And now that she's dreaming and thinking about him, she makes certain statements to herself that says, well, I'm not interested in really getting back with this person. What I'm really interested is just wondering, after all these years, what's life been like? You know, have you been in a relationship? Have you not been in a relationship? Are you happy? Are you not happy? And just want to talk about it. So we tend to justify this, but you and I both know out there that that's never really what it means, does it? So let's get a little backstory on Veronica. So Veronica is 34 years of age. She's been in a current relationship for 7 years and counting. They live together. They built a life together, routines, habits, and things of that nature, just like any relationship would. But lately, something's been happening. She's been claiming, when she came to me, I'm having these dreams about her ex. They're not nightmares. They're not bad memories. They're actually dreams that feel warm, familiar, very, very intimate. So dreams that feel like I know I shouldn't be acting on them mentally, but now I feel like the door has been open and I want to look through. And then she says, when this happens and I feel this feeling and this anxiety, but excitement at the same time, I wake up a little bit confused, somewhat guilty, but very curious. And we know curiosity is where the danger begins. So let's connect on these dreams that start changing her life, basically. But the one thing I did reiterate to her at this point, I said, well, dreams come into the form of the subconscious because we do tend to see, feel, or act on things that we noticed that happened recently. And then whether it's something that's not going so well and we go to a memory that did go so well, but it didn't just pop out of the 7 years you've been with your significant other, and then all of a sudden, like, wow, I just had a dream. Something triggered it, whether subconsciously or consciously. So just to let you know, I said, we want to be clean. We want to be honest with ourselves if we're going to do this work, to find out that something definitely caught fire inside recently that stirred up, even if you had these dreams for the last few months. Prior to that, shortly to that, something definitely triggered that. So going on, these dreams would happen. They would be very vivid, to the point that, like I said, it would develop excitement with her and very high emotions, to the point where she would start, even though he hasn't been in her life for a long time, she started thinking of the guy. I wonder if telepathically, if he's thinking of me. Is he checking his phone in the morning looking for messages? So she starts looking at her cell phone. She starts mentally thinking, what if I pass by where I used to live? Replaying old memories. She starts wondering, what's he doing? I hope he's thinking of me. And she just keeps this cycle. And again, repetitive is hypnosis. The more you repeat something that you want, the more it becomes part of, I'm going to have it. And slowly, without realizing it, by doing this, she begins to withdraw from her present relationship with Daniel. Not enough for him to notice, but enough for her to feel the shift. Now, she's not cheating, and it's not physical, obviously, not yet, but emotionally, she's already halfway out the door. So let's go into what we call the justification loop. This basically is where people don't cheat because they're evil, okay? They don't cheat because they create a story that makes the betrayal feel justified. But in this case, Veronica wants something. There is something there. And how she basically justifies this is she says, it's the dream's fault, or it doesn't mean anything, or I'm just curious, or I just want closure is a big one. I just want to say hello, or here's the truth. None of those. When someone says, I just want to say hello, or I just want to see if the spark is still there, and they're going to risk a 7-year relationship for a greeting, well, this is the emotional drift, I call, in psychology, that it's subtle and it's quiet, but it becomes dangerous. Because you know deep down that this, in turn, means you're sabotaging the relationship, which is now taking us into the X factor. And as I said, or at least what I tell my clients, when you mention my ex this, my ex from 10 years ago, my ex, you are claiming ownership of your ex. Believe that or not, you are claiming ownership. Think of it this way. If you own a car and you were describing and you said to your friend, that's my car, okay? You're claiming ownership. You don't say, that car, I drive that car. You emphasize what's yours, mine. You have a cell phone. Anybody see my phone, my keys? So she's claiming ownership. And we all do this rather than saying the ex or, Mr. Blank. I don't even want to give them life. When you give something life, in turn, that, especially with the word mine, you're declaring ownership. So the man wasn't just a chapter in her life, her ex. He was a turning point, okay? He was the one she loved before she knew how to love, when she told me. He was the one that she felt learned so many things. And then his masculinity on top of it, it was very stimulating when it was good. So here's those things. Did they disappear? Did these feelings, did they just sit back in your mind? What was it? Was it a song that triggered it? When life gets stressful, when the going gets rough, the ex comes going, when intimacy is not really working to where I want and it's more predictable with Daniel, I want something that was a little different. What is Daniel like? He's not as alpha as my ex was. And the brain goes searching for this emotional stimulation. And the past is the easiest place to find these kind of thoughts, right? We've all done it to a degree. And then the key thing is to factor it out. Now, we only do it in a degree if we want something back from that, if we're not getting a need met in our present relationships. And I'm not just talking about your ex. It could be your job. I like my old job. I thought this was going to be better because it paid more, you see. And so you go looking for the easiest place to find it, the brain, to catch on to that emotional stimulation when it felt good, opposed to feeling bad. So the meetup plan, right? One day Veronica was talking to a friend. She said, and I think I might want to reach out just to say hello. Her friend raises her eyebrows because she knows, women know as well as men, what this means. We all know what this means. Just to say hello is the most famous lie we tell people before we cheat, right? It's the emotional equivalent of saying, I'm just going to stand near the fire, but I'm not going to touch it. But the fire doesn't care about your intentions. And Veronica starts planning that fire in her head. Maybe I will get burnt a little, because you could tell this is the fruit. You could tell that this is going to happen, because she starts making up, I'm going to be out with the girls tonight. Or, I have a work meeting. And then she starts breaking out of her attire, because I want to look my best. So what will I wear? How will I talk? What could we talk about? How can I start to spark myself? And she imagines the moment, and she builds up the tension, and the spark is already lit without even, this guy doesn't even have to do much if he agrees to meet with her, because she's already done 90% of the work. She wants this. And the more she imagines it, the more she connects with it, the more real it becomes, because it's already there. So what's really going on? That's what I said to her after this. After I'm reconnecting this, she's taking me right there. She's in the moment, awakened moment, but hypnotically, she was not with me in the room when we were talking. She was in the moment. And so I told her, I go, look, I got to get you back. I got to take you right back here. This isn't about your ex. As much as you think it is, not really, to a degree. This is about you, Veronica. This is about you not getting your needs met, having unresolved feelings. Maybe you're bored. Maybe it's nostalgia, fantasy, curiosity. Maybe you need validation, but the desire to feel wanted again. Remember, dreams don't create feelings. They reveal them, right? So her subconscious is telling her something that she hasn't admitted out loud. Her subconscious says she misses who she was when she was with him, but not necessarily him. She misses the version of herself opposed to when she was with him. That was the real danger. I knew a woman that was also, besides Veronica, that was cheating on her husband, neglected her kids. Nobody had a clue, but she was always out with her personal trainer. And she goes, the right thing is to go back to my family. I think I will. But then she says, you know what? All the feelings that come, they see me training with him. They see me doing things. We look like a couple. We look like that fitness couple. And I like that circle of life. And I love the group that is now in my life that I inherited. So it was the things around it, as I stated. The desire is not so much the relationship, but she went from vice president to president. Think of it that way. Okay, so now we're at the crossroads. Veronica is standing at the psychological intersection, one road that leads to honesty, communication, confronting the real issues, and her current relationship. That's where we're at. Now, the other road leads to secrecy, fantasy, and emotional betrayal. But here's the truth, I told her. Most people don't cheat because they're unhappy. They cheat because they're unfulfilled. And I referenced that. There is a big difference here. Unhappiness is about the relationship. Not feeling fulfilled, that's about self. And that's what it sounds like to me, Veronica. You are unfulfilled, and she's looking backwards to fill a void that 7 years, it has to be about self at this point. You would have done something ages ago. So what are the consequences? Because now this is where you have to connect on. What do I stand to lose? Or what do I stand to gain? If that means finding self and still getting out of the relationship, at least you found self. Doesn't mean you go backwards to the ex. If it didn't work before, more than likely it's not going to work out again. But if she meets up with her ex, here are some of the consequences, even just with the risk of saying hello. An emotional attachment, because she's got that feeling again from the past, not just because I dug it with him, it was really killer, but because of the circle of energy, as I said, that it gave her. Physical temptation, so that makes excitement again. Guilt, which is also a form, I know what I'm doing is really wrong. Secrecy, again, secret lovers, the collapse of her current relationship for sure, the loss of trust, the loss of stability, and then people think cheating starts with a kiss, but it doesn't. It starts with a thought, and that thought is shutting everything else in your life down so you can act on that thought. So this is where she stands. Now, what does she do at this point? Well, it's really up to her. I say, you don't get to play with fire and then act surprised when you get burned. Okay, that's a reality. You're not looking for closure. You're looking for a feeling. Let's just call it what it is. You want a certain feeling, right? So you're not confused. You're avoiding the truth. That's the reality. You're not trying to say hello. You're trying to relive a fantasy. And the fantasy never lives up to the reality. It didn't before, and you broke up God knows how many times. And it will happen again because, again, the juice is not worth the squeeze. And there's bigger things also. So if you have one foot out the door, you owe your partner the truth before you take that next step, is what I emphasized on to Veronica. And so, again, because she couldn't take the responsibility for herself, she met this guy and she said, I know everything you said makes sense, but the urge is so powerful now because she really built it up that I just need to see and just hear how this person is. I don't think I'm going to act on it. And sure enough, they did, like immediately. And then come to find out, he's like, look, I don't even live in this state. It was so coincidental that I was doing a job here, but I'm like 3 states over, but I still work with my business. And that's how she was able to find him, in reference to where he used to work. He now, is part owner of the company. So he was able to get his booty call because I started a life like 8 years ago, when we broke up. And, so this was fun. This is great. If you ever want to hook up, definitely do me a favor. When you text me, just leave a dot. A dot means that you're looking to hook up because I'm in and out of this state a lot. And then we can plan from there. That will be my cue. So a dot or a period. This is what this guy's telling her. You talk about being crushed. And so all of a sudden, as that went on before he told her the new ground rules, but unfortunately, her significant other, from actually seeing these red flags of being treated a certain way, she ended up basically coming clean, but said it meant nothing. And now he's in an area where I don't think I want to be in this anymore. And now she's now seeing the reality. Now she's seeing the consequences of, because she didn't fix herself. And she kept saying it was a relationship problem when she realized it wasn't a relationship problem. I wasn't not happy. I had all of these things I didn't have to pay. He actually gave me a financial allowance. I never had to work. I was able to do all these things. He paid for my gym classes, my fitness, my clothes. So she wasn't unhappy in the relationship. She was just unfulfilled. And now, because she flipped the coin and she did something that said, nope, I'm going to justify it like this. And in turn, now she screwed over the relationship. And trust, for herself, trust with this other person, and seeing why she left the other guy in the first place. So this is Veronica's story. This is where she stands. And if you have a story that we didn't cover yet, place it in the comments or send me an email at gregcoaching@gmail.com. We want to hear about what you're going through so we can break it down like this. And maybe she was a little oblivious, Veronica. Maybe she really believed, but at the time when you say something enough, it can become a belief within yourself, even though it's a limited belief, which is the case here. But again, please go ahead, subscribe, like, share, and comment. If you have any issues or concerns, or you'd like to talk to me, and do it like Veronica did, and like my other clients have also, who have been part of the show, please, again, reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, have a great day or evening, wherever you are.